let's move on to our final lesson. And that is that we want to position the film flowers that we created by DOM elements with D3, how to update the DOM, and we dabbled a little bit into positioning things with D3 scales. Sometimes we want to visualize something a little bit more complicated, and that's when D3 has a and you can reference that to see what else helps with the layout calculation. But my favorite two, a few of my favorites to draw line charts, area charts, pie charts, etc. Because now that we've learned how to create shapes with SVG, and now that we've learned how the paths strings work, we know like how just scrolling through the reference for all of the kind of different shapes that you could create. I really wanted to point out is that for each of these, you can an example. So let me, sorry for all the scrolling, but let me try and get to one. Actually, let me look at D3 lines, and it will actually have a link to examples. And so if you're like confused as to how to use that module, watch out for this in the reference. And then it will kind of explain in this observable notebook how to use D3 line, all of the different, all of the different, and yeah, so there's all of these kind of different applications of different shapes that you can use. And I also want to make a note that a lot of the D3 examples, like this one, has moved to observable. And so if you actually go to the D3 account on observable, so it's like /@D3, it has apparently 400 something notebooks of examples. And the really nice thing is that they've actually kind of grouped all of these examples by the module. So and like look at what's happening with the data, and then you can hopefully put together, oh, so they're doing the scales, they're creating the scales in different cells. And you can kind of like hopefully go through the observable notebook and figure out how they're using that particular D3 example. So again, for D3 shapes, you might have, let's say, an array like this. This is the raw data array for Apple's daily closing price, and it just has the date and the value. And then in this example, we're passing that data array into D3 line, and we're getting back this path string, and we're putting that path string on this kind of path element, and we're adding some axes, and that's how we get the line chart below.